Well, hello and welcome to Moving Through Menopause. Here I am today and I'm talking to Maria Kamau. Maria is a travel coach. So I'm excited to unpick traveling solo for women, especially women over 40. And both of us are women
Mhm.
over 40, aren't we, Maria?
We are, we sure are.
It's interesting. I'll tell you why. I have arranged this year for the first time ever to deliver a Pilates and yoga retreat in Italy. And
Wow.
oh, I'm so excited. I've never done anything like it before. And it's interesting because I've had a few of my female clients who have said to me, "Oh, wow, that's amazing. That's so good. Yes, I want to come." And then, what am I going to do about the travel? And the
Uh-huh.
travel has presented a hurdle. And honestly, I don't even think they were expecting that. So today we're talking to Maria. Maria is going to help us because honestly, Maria, I've looked at your profile and I mean, when are you ever not traveling? And you've gone to some really far-flung places as well, haven't you? So welcome to the podcast,
Absolutely.
Maria. Please just tell our guests a little bit about yourself, would you?
Um, Thank you. Thank you, Philippa. And hello, everyone. Um, Thank you for having me. This is exciting, and thank you for that introduction. So spot on with the kind of thing I face. So my name is Maria Kamau. I am Kenyan, born and bred, and I have been as a career a data consultant. And I say that I have been traveling most of my life. So my experience with the international travel started when I was a teenager in an exchange program, hosted a German student for 6 weeks, and then we traveled to Germany for 4 weeks.
Ah,
And
ah.
that was the beginning of that's when the travel bug hit. And yeah, I've been traveling since, while having a full-time job and career. So this is where I am. I mean, this is how I have landed where I am now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think, it's really helpful for people to know that you don't just talk the talk, you've walked the walk. And that's kind of how I like to um, I don't teach anybody any exercise that I haven't done myself. So I think, we're aligned in that
Mhm.
regard. So, why we're talking about we're moving through menopause and traveling
Yes.
through menopause was something that you mentioned to me, and I said, well, honestly, for me, menopause it made me want to stay at home and never go anywhere ever again. And I did have I know I had levels of anxiety that I'd never had before around, innocuous things, relatively innocuous things. And so it really made me, like I say, want to stay at home. But if we are traveling, well, hopefully after today, we'll all be traveling a lot more. So,
Hmm.
what puts women off travel? What, especially solo travel? Because this is the thing.
Right. So, yeah, as women, traveling or not, we live life feeling vulnerable.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so, it's like society decides, what we should be doing, where we should be going, um, and when society judges, and then we become judges, and, we turn it inward. We are the worst, judges of,
Mm,
we judge ourselves the harshest. And so, what tends to happen with women, you know, who wait, is that they really just it's like they're so busy looking after everyone else, they tend to put themselves last. And so, for one thing, they are afraid, that is it okay for me to do what I want to do? Is it okay for me to be that person who walks away? Travel takes you away from your comfort zone, takes you away from your responsibilities. They cannot, they shouldn't, or they're waiting to be given permission. Or they do not identify themselves with that person who travels. I'm a mom, I'm a caregiver, a sister, a wife. And a traveler seems to be another kind, especially if you haven't done it a lot, or if you want to do it for leisure. Many a time we may do it for official duty or to visit family. But if you just want to do it for yourself, it seems like, am I allowed? Is it okay? What's out there, out of your comfort zone? Can I do this? And so it's like, giving themselves self-permission to live that dream they've always had to travel.
Yeah. This is it, isn't it? And I definitely am feeling that I'm at this stage now of having put it off, raised the family, done the work, the career part, and never had the gap year. I didn't do the gap year. It sounds like you embarked on that early on. I didn't. And I have traveled with my husband, and I've traveled with my family, and I've traveled with work
There
to
you
a certain
go.
extent.
Yes.
But the
Yeah.
idea of doing it, for enjoyment, for self-fulfillment,
Yes.
is still a
Yes.
little bit alien. And so,
Yes.
for us to get past that, through it, over it, whatever words you want to use, and give yourself
Yes.
permission. That there's, when I was at school, the 7 wonders of the world were still mooted about. And I wanted to see the pyramids. I wanted to go to the Taj Mahal. And what's the other thing? Things like this. I guess the Great Wall of China. I'm not sure if it's one of those. Oh, yes. All of those things. And so I've seen the pyramids, and this year I went to the Taj Mahal. So I've done 2 of them. Yes, get me.
Well done.
But
That's a celebration.
yes, we should celebrate our wins, shouldn't we? There's no doubt. But this year I'm thinking an extended period of travel, because there's one thing where you're in control. You've got a destination, you go there, you come back. That somehow seems fairly manageable to me. But the idea of going somewhere and then going somewhere else and else and else, for an extended period of time, that's something that I would love to do now, as I'm getting older. But I do feel trepidatious, I must confess. So, help me out, Maria.
Wow. First of all, congratulations that you did get to see with, even in company. I applaud you for that, because you're saying that, you have, some concerns or some anxieties, but there are people who won't even go to that one. They hedge and think it's not the right time. I have to go with someone. I think I have to go with someone is one of the biggest blocks, and I have to also admit that I was fortunate, because my initial travel was arranged, which makes it easier, for work. And then I have a sister. The sister I'm visiting, we traveled a lot with her. And then along the way, I met friends with whom I traveled. And mind you, all this time, it's really, I'm working, I'm building my career, and so I didn't stop to travel. It was just my vacation time. And so to answer your question, it also took some time before I traveled solo. life started happening to my travel partners. Now, look, my sister has a baby, so moving forward, I will not be able to travel with her. Um, and my other friends also taking care of elderly parents and all. So what I realized is that first, the more you travel, the more you travel. So just the very fact that you've already been to Egypt, you've done, the Taj Mahal, which I haven't seen, by the way, so I'm highly envious, um, gives you even the confidence to dream, even the confidence to consider to travel for it. The more you travel, the more you realize it's a priority for you and not necessarily for those around you, not necessarily for your friends. And so once you start to understand that if it's going to happen, you are the one to make it happen, and that it's possible because you've done it before. And so it's the way you've done it before, you will keep doing that. First time round, travel to 2 countries instead of 1. So you're going to Italy. Perhaps the easiest place to visit would be the Vatican City because it's another country, but it's right within. But how about you stroll over to, well, not stroll, but if you haven't been to Switzerland, which is a neighbor, or Greece, you start with step by step. And I'm surprised, one of the misconceptions we have on this side of the earth is that, um, people from your end are all confident travelers because those are the people we see. Those are the people, that's what a tourist looks like. You look like a tourist. I don't.
Well, yeah, I know. So that's so fascinating. You should say that, isn't it? Well, how fascinating. Yeah, that's really interesting because we've all got our preconceived ideas and yeah, exactly. So
Yeah. So
and I
it's
think
also the
yeah,
so
let's
it's also
just
the assumption. Sorry, yeah, getting
no,
cross.
that's
Go
okay.
ahead.
Let's just speak to some of these because you mentioned about women being conditioned. And one of the biggest things that I know as a woman is safety concerns are more
Yes,
prevalent for women than they are for men. Now, I'm not saying men shouldn't keep
absolutely.
themselves safe. Yes, keep yourself safe.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
women are, as you said in the beginning, more vulnerable or feel more vulnerable, even if they're not really more
Yes,
vulnerable. And
yes,
so I think
yes.
safety, vulnerability and safety is a real concern for women who might be traveling alone. And so do you have any
Yeah.
sort of practical tips for people to
Okay.
stay safe and
Mhm.
calm, I guess, as we travel about?
Mm, okay. And that's a good one, and it's a big one. Um, and probably one of the things we tend to address in the coaching sessions because uh, it's first about the mindset. And the safety concerns we have, um, we carry them with us all the time. So whether at home or abroad, maybe abroad or out of your comfort zone more so. And one thing we need to keep reminding ourselves is that most of the things that could happen, not all, most of the things that could happen abroad could happen at home as well. So if it is theft, maybe, or getting lost, or having an interaction with someone who doesn't understand you, these things can happen at home as well. And what tends to happen is actually do often happen at home more than abroad because our guard is down at home. Our guard tends to be our intuition is more in tune. In fact, that's what happens with travel. Your intuition gets honed. So the safety precautions we take at home are the same that we tend to take abroad, or we tend to encourage. So something as simple as don't walk around alone at night. That applies at home. That applies, abroad. Um, Having information, ahead of time. So where are you going to stay? How are you going to, what's your itinerary like? And having that known by someone else at home. That's sort of like for women,
Yeah.
reassurance. Communicating with these places ahead of time. And what has helped the most, I've traveled for like over 30 years now, and I'll tell you that it's so much easier now, because way back when, once you left home, the fastest communication was an email, maybe,
Oh,
or like, telephone call, if you could get that. Modern, technology, everything is online. So you could even, and you're able to immediately communicate with your people at home because of Wi-Fi. The taxi that you take, you can, if it's an online app, you can already communicate that to people. So more you have prepared for the trip, and the more you follow the same precautions, avoid wearing your valuables or carrying them with you. Carry less, especially for women. Less is more, even what you pack, what you carry with. Avoid late arrivals or night travel, or if you must, make arrangements prior with hotels or with your Airbnb, with there's a and of course, like you said, this varies from person to person, but there's, many ways in which you can have the information about where you're going and where you're staying, what you're going to do, and that information you could already have it and share it with your loved ones at home, especially for solo women. I mean, and then follow the same protocols. And we have even technology like the eSIM. The eSIM is something new and sounds a bit complicated till you make use of it. So the eSIM is it enables you to be in communication constantly. It is a telephone SIM card, a virtual SIM card, so that you don't have to buy a SIM card when you arrive. You're already connected the minute you land, and you're constantly online. And in today's world, like I've said, being online helps you, helps you feel a little more secure, keeping in touch with people at home. And eventually you start to trust that it's not as dangerous a world as we sometimes think it is.
No, and honestly, that listen, Maria, those are great tips. I love your tips, Maria.
Yes.
And I think you're right, because I'm talking about my friend and I, when we finished university, we went off and we did 4 weeks of interrailing, as it was called back then. And lots of people of my age we did a month of interrailing. And you're absolutely right. There was none of this modern technology. And I was with a female friend. So, at least we had each other, and our parents must have been holding the breath the whole time that we were gone. But I mean, it is a totally different world now, isn't it? And you mentioned the eSIM, and in fact, my telephone provider has a plan, and it's a worldwide plan, and I signed up to it because I decided that this year was going to be the year. And so my phone will work. Yeah, it'll work anywhere in the world, and I don't have to worry about the SIM. Now, by all means, get an eSIM or whatever one of those is. But like you said, the technology is there. And I think the systems and processes in place is what you're saying. And then you just replicate that over and over and over again. And with practice, as I always say to my clients, with practice comes improvement. So that as as you practice implementing these strategies, then it just becomes second nature. You don't have to think about it.
Yes.
And it doesn't feel as overwhelming. But I'm laughing when you said travel light, because that is something that I have not yet mastered.
Yes.
And I say to my husband, it's fine, but it's all these toiletries. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do. Yeah, I have little bottles, but I still have quite a lot of them. Day cream, night cream, serum, toner. I mean, that's 4 things that just go on my face, never mind anywhere else. So, I mean, I've got to get my head around this traveling light situation, definitely. But that's joking apart. I think I
Yes.
appreciate those tips are
Yes.
going to apply
Yes.
across the board, anywhere in the world. And sharing your itinerary, that sounds like something that's a really good idea for people of any age to do, sharing your itinerary with somebody. But you kind of alluded to the fact that travel changes us as much as we do the traveling. It then changes us. So can you speak to how travel changes or how we show up in our lives? Can you speak to that for a second?
Yeah. So it's interesting that for women in particular, there are a lot of society actually runs around women. We think it's around men, but it's really women. Women are the caregivers. We run families, we run events, we run communities, we run businesses, we are growing our career. And so you look after a lot of people, you have a lot of responsibilities. But when it comes to travel, it's interesting that we lose our confidence, or we don't feel as confident to be able to manage on our own. So what I like to remind people is, like, it's not that you're not a traveler, or you don't know how to do it. It's just the practice. I think you mentioned practice. So until you travel is when you will start to see yourself as a traveler, or at least someone who travels. And then you learn to trust yourself, because the major issue about travel, it's an adventure. You can plan, you can do all the planning, but like life, there's going to be, things are going to go left or south, and so delayed flights, or taxi doesn't show up, or, unmet expectations, or, and you have to trust strangers. You do that at home, but a lot more, when you travel. And so the more you are able to find that a lot of these, fears that you had don't, nothing much happens. In fact, you enjoy yourself once you start to relax. You start to trust yourself and see yourself as someone who's capable of doing, things that only dreamed about or were unsure about, especially if travel is something new for you. Like now, once you do the solo travel, you start to see like, oh, when you get back home, you start to see yourself different. You build confidence. I can try new things. I don't have to wait for permission to do stuff, to try, a different path, a different career. Um, you start to have confidence that you can give yourself permission to be different, or not uh, to meet the expectations that sometimes you think others have of you. And you start to realize that, it's okay to have, to desire, different things, to do things differently. And if it's that travel, you start to feel the confidence that, I can go in a different direction, or I can now make my own decisions. And that's a huge thing for women. It's a huge thing. In fact, it's the people around you who start to notice and to, feel the difference that the different person that you're becoming. coming, simply because you have proved to yourself that you can do something dangerous or adventurous or different and survive through it. And yeah, that's empowering.
Mm. Yeah, and you speak to the confidence that travel can kind of give you, and actually,
I hope you can.
menopause is
Hi, you're
yeah,
still with
no,
me?
yeah, I'm still here. We've got a bit of a lag, so I'm just talking through it. But menopause is a time when we start to lose confidence, and we don't even mean to do it. But I see this time and time again for women.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Okay.
anything that is going to boost our confidence can only be a good thing. So,
Yeah.
this I'm interested to explore this avenue. Obviously, I've got my own reasons, being a Pilates teacher, yoga teacher, and general sort of all-round
Mm,
fitness enthusiast. But I see that in your Facebook feed that you always show pictures of yourself kind of jumping up in the air, and I'm just curious if you kind of if you keep fit, Maria, and if you do keep fit or you like keeping fit, do you think that being physically strong improves your confidence to travel? And maybe that speaks a little bit to packing light as well. I don't know. What do you think, Maria?
yes, yes, that's true. That's true. Yes. Straight answer, yes, is yes. I keep fit. I actually run. I run. This
Oh,
is my route of maintaining fitness. Throughout my life, I've always been like active, energetic. In fact, my preferred mode of travel is experiences and activities. So I'm not your regular. Let's go to Mauritius and sit by the beach and enjoy the sunrise and sunset. No, I will not go all the way to do that. I'm going to look for hiking. I enjoy hiking. When I'm home, I do a marathon at least once a year. Half a marathon. I just did my first marathon last year.
oh wow.
And so I'm the energy person. And I love the jump because, and I harass my friends, and anyone who's near me, they know about the jump. So if you're going to take a picture, even at a stay-at-home party, we're going to jump because it brings out the joy. I know it's getting more difficult because the knees and I get to hear that a lot. But it's very difficult to jump with a sad face.
Mm,
Just the sheer energy and the effort it takes. It's it forces you to draw energy from within and exude it, and
mm,
and it's done naturally, just in an effort. And imagine a jump is like 2 seconds. It's the pictures are able to freeze it, but it's less than 2-3 seconds up and down. But in that short space, the atmosphere, the energy around is, so positive, even infectious. So even whoever's taking the picture or whoever, you just find that you exude positive energy. And yes, you're right. Travel requires energy, whether we, are aware of it or not, whether we enjoy it or not. There's going to be walking involved. There's going to be lifting and putting down. And this is the great and very serious emphasis on pack less, carry less. Because as
mm,
much as we are fortunately in a world that is trying to, be more inclusive, therefore make it, for example, uh, walkways, paths that are easier for the physically challenged, for those who are able differently. It's not a perfect world. So you're going to find a few places where you have to climb some steps. You're going to have distances. Airports are notorious for this. Just moving from the plane, to get into the building, to get to the airport, from, you're going to have to move your luggage as much as you have help. Even if you have the wheels, there's going to be lifting up, putting down, you're going to get it to your room, you're going to move from location to location. And I'm
Mm,
having this experience, yes, as I'm getting older. It gets a bit tougher. Yes, I have energy, but with menopause, your body will, even if you're not listening, your body will tell you that yes, you're not a spring chicken. It does require a little more energy to move around, but it hasn't stopped me. It's just helped me adjust as I get older. So before, as
mm,
you can hear, I'm an adventure person. My holidays would be packed. Day one, we're doing this. We put our bags down. We're heading that way. We're coming this. Day two, day three. I'm learning to slow that down. Even if I'm not feeling it, forget it. I just stay in the hotel,
mm,
sleep or, relax, take it easy. I'm even having right now, I'll call myself in perimenopause. I am somehow, transitioning, and of course, the warning signs are not. I'm not familiar with all of them, but I'm having to buy and carry such gadgets as these. I'm sure this looks familiar, where you have to adjust to your personal climate, and so which may be different from what's going around. So I'm learning to slow down. I'm learning to take it in stride. What I don't want is for it to discourage me from traveling. So I'm listening to my body, changing the pace, um, getting the gadgets or whatever I need, but still traveling.
mm.
But still traveling. So
Yeah.
your body is changing, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. And just like you have to continue doing life,
Mm.
whether you're back at home, when I'm traveling, I just need to adjust and let it be part of the adventure.
Yeah, well, yeah, I like that. Let it be part of the adventure. That's lovely, isn't it? Well, you know what? We haven't got any choice, have we? So we might as well just, as I sometimes say, grasp the nettle and get on with it. But you're right, and it's wonderful that you address some specific tips that we can integrate into our travel itineraries as we're, solo women who are not getting any younger. I'll just put it that way. So thank you for those amazing tips. Now, I've got a quick fire round, Maria.
Yes.
I'm not sure how well this is going to work because we have got a bit of a lag, but if you could kind of answer these questions briefly, and I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to, it's a bit of fun at the end of our conversation. So, when you're traveling, Maria, would you opt for, and you can tell me why if you want to, would you opt for the window seat or the aisle
Yes.
seat? Tell me.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, we've got
Window
a
always. I want
oh,
to
okay.
see as I leave. I want to see as I depart. I'm an outdoor person. I'm a view person. Window all the time, even if it's above the wing. Window, and on
Okay.
long
All
haul
right.
flights, it's so much more convenient.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I like the window too, to be
Did you get
honest.
it?
Even though, yeah, we've got that. Even though I'm a bit of a nervous flyer, I have to confess, I still like to look out of the window. So tell me, would you go with carry on or checked baggage, Maria?
Ah.
What do you think of that?
um, Carry-on is always better for quick in and out. and always having your bags. But on long layovers, it's baggage. I
Mm.
prefer checked in luggage,
Okay.
and hope that it gets, trans.
Yeah, you hope that it meets you wherever you end up. Yes. So,
Yes.
share with us, Maria. What do you have a suggestion for the best country for us to go to for our first solo trip traveling? Mm,
Um, so I'll say it depends, because people
okay.
are different. It depends, have different experience. I would say Kenya, if I was to be asked, home. But I do encourage, because people are all over the world. And
Mm,
so if you've never traveled solo and this is your first trip, just go to a country you've never been to. I try and choose one that where they speak a different language.
mhm,
If you're really anxious, choose one nearby. One that's a train, maybe a
mm,
train ride away, or a low cost flight away. Um, but I encourage, just go to. There are many countries. There are many beautiful countries. I mean, goodness me, the world is so beautiful. So it's better to go to countries that are, the traditional ones. If you're very uncomfortable, perhaps it's nice to go to the what do you say, the ones most traveled, because then the
mm,
resources are probably make it easier for you. But as a
mm.
self-challenged, just go, just go. The world is beautiful. Just pick a country and go.
Pick a country and go. I love it. That is absolutely perfect. Thank you, Maria. I'm so, grateful for this time that you are giving to us today. Do you think, travel can still be affordable in 2026? Do you have any ideas that you can, help us with spreading the cost of travel or keeping the cost of travel down?
First, absolutely yes. Life is not getting any cheaper. So
No.
waiting for it to be cheaper in travel, as with everything else, and as a matter of fact, I mean, travel has gotten cheaper in many ways because there are many more funds and many more resources. But travel is affordable according to your lifestyle. So once you prioritize it, once you make it
Mm,
a priority and you consider it important, then you
mm,
also adjust your lifestyle.
mm,
Life costs, travel costs, it doesn't have to be expensive. So if you
mm,
plan for it in advance, 6 months to 1 year, put away a little bit or a lot, depending on how much travel you want to do, and consider that a lot of the things we buy will not give you as much lasting fulfillment as travel will, because travel is lasting memories. The upgraded, I don't know, car, the full wardrobe, which we rarely even make use of. I saw a very nice show of yours where you were telling us how to
Oh, I know.
get a few pieces together and you can dress up like a model. We don't use a lot of
Mm,
stuff and we keep buying. So a lot of the things we
mm,
buy, we should really stop and consider, especially if you prioritize travel. How much will you feel fulfilled and for how long, as compared to one trip? And you don't have to go away for many months. Just a short
mm,
period can give you lasting memories and
mm,
do so much for transforming you and fulfilling you inside than a lot of the stuff we our money on. So we can afford it. It's a decision, a
mm,
way that will
mm.
enable us to plan for it and go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's absolutely wonderful. That you're
And of
so
course,
right.
cheaper distance.
And
Little research.
travel, yeah, do your research. Definitely do that. Travel is, if you decide it's a priority, then budget for it. Make a decision and decide to do it. These things don't happen if we don't plan them. Fail to plan, plan to
Yes.
fail. That's, that
Yes.
well-known saying. So, well, thank you, Maria.
Yes.
I'm going to let you head off back to your sister's new baby.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a cuddle from me, this lovely little
Yes.
princess, she said. Give her a cuddle from me, because I don't think my sons are ever going to make me a grandma. but but I'll be very happy as and when they do, and even if they don't, I'll still love them. So thank you again so much. Please please tell people, please tell the
Yes.
listeners, where can we find you, Maria? Where can we find you?
Right. So you can find me on social media. My website is Travel with MK. That's Travel with MK. And you can find me on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and on Facebook with the same name, Travel with MK. Travel with MKAY. And I help women to travel affordably on their own terms without using a travel agent, solo or with others.
Well, thank you. That's excellent. And of course, I'll put those links into the show notes so that people can find you easily. Thank you so much for your time today, Maria. It's been wonderful to meet you. And thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And Maria and I will say bye for now. Bye, everyone. Bye for now.
Bye. Thank